It was the year 1666, and London was a bustling city. Edward was 8 years old. He lived with his parents near to the River Thames, where boats were always delivering food from afar. Edward loved to sit by the docks and watch the merchants sell their wares of fish, spices, and iron. He found it fascinating to watch the traders from all over the world land in the port in their huge ships. Edward woke up during the night. It was Sunday, and the church bells were ringing as loud as thunder. It must be a warning, he thought. His father John came rushing into the room, shouting and waving his arms about. "Fire! Fire!" he shouted. Edward and his father ran from their home into the street. All they could see were flames surrounding them. There was indeed a fire that would spread across the city and change their lives forever. John grabbed a leather bucket to help the men already trying to put the fire out. Edward watched in astonishment. There was a man using a squirt to send the water up on top of the raging flames. But even with hundreds of men and boys helping to put the water onto the flames, the fire grew and grew and grew. The flames jumped from house to house because they were built so close together. "Nothing can stop it!" cried Edward. But this time lots of people were running to the river to escape the furious flames. Still, many men remained to put out the fire, this time using hooks on long poles to pull down the buildings next to the flames. But they were just not quick enough. The fire was now jumping from street to street. That afternoon, on Sunday the 2nd of September, King Charles II travelled along the Thames in his barge to look at the fire and decide what to do. By Monday evening, the fire had already destroyed many streets in London. It had spread so far that now the great cathedral of St. Paul was on fire. It became an inferno. By now, Edward and his father had tried to get onto the next boat across the river, but with no luck. There were too many people carrying all of their possessions and not enough boats. Edward and John watched as others rowed away from the danger. The king had ordered that more had to be done to tackle the fire. Gunpowder was used to blow up the houses that were next to catch fire. Londoners hoped that this would stop the fire from spreading at such a quick speed. On Wednesday, John and Edward finally boarded a boat across the river. They were relieved to be able to travel to safety. By now, though, they were both starving hungry and very tired. They had no possessions, as everything was destroyed when the fire caught their home. The king ordered that tents and food be provided for the people who had escaped. On Thursday, the fire had finally died out and the damage was evident. London looked very different. It was changed forever.